Just absolutely love diving into No Man's Sky every time, and on the Steam Deck it's an absolute joy. Lose an hour every time I try and test this game and absolutely love it every time. On Steam Deck this is running 60 frames per second, and I'll go over the settings in just a sec, but it doesn't always hold that 60 frames per second, especially on entry and exit of the planets. But it still looks absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't dived into No Man's Sky, I definitely recommend you give it a look at least. So after trying lots and lots of settings, turning off motion blur and putting graphics on enhanced gave me the best balance here. This stopped the stutter when moving around quite quickly, although you do still dive down into the 30s and 40s frames per second on those entries and exits of the planets, as you'll see here. As soon as we get into the ship and start taking off, we drop into the 40s. Okay for the most part, but as soon as we get out into space during those loading periods, we do see those drops down into the 30s and 40s again. So although it does drop quite a lot, it's still extremely smooth to play, and you don't really notice it if you're not watching that FPS counter. Yes, you do see the stutters when the loads kick in, as I said, exiting planets especially, and on the entries. Hyperdrive is also a little bit jerky, but that's kind of expected considering the amount of data that's being loaded while the graphics are going on. But the most important part, while we're down on the planet or in space stations or the space anomaly, then it holds a very steady 60 frames per second. As you can see on re-entry there, dropping down into the 30 frames per second. Looking at this on a larger screen really doesn't do it justice. Those enhanced settings on the Steam Deck screen just looks absolutely gorgeous. And as I said, No Man's Sky is such a chill game, it's just so much fun to play, and you just get lost exploring these planets and following the storyline. So I'm about 5 hours in. I'll definitely keep this one installed on the Steam Deck because it just draws you in every time and it just looks so good. I'll leave you with a bit more of standard No Man's Sky gameplay here so you can get a feel for the performance without me talking. Let us know in the comments below if there's a game that you are on the lookout for, and if it's in our library we'll take a look. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.